Stirring in the woods. Join Banter with Richie B live on September 20th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we welcome Brian Terrell from Red Dirt Cryptid Investigations along with a special guest. We'll be discussing the topic of Dogman and maybe even some Bigfoot. Don't miss this special episode. Subscribe, set your reminders, and prepare for a wild ride through the topic of Dogman with Red Dirt Cryptid Investigations Brian Terrell on Banter with Richie B. Dogman, Bigfoot, truth.
When people see things that are not supposed to exist, there's a shock factor that happens. Different people deal with it different ways. Some people shut down, but some people dig in. Some people get interested and they start looking for answers.
Good morning. Welcome to Banter with Richie B live.
Somewhere beyond the beaten path, beyond the whispers in the woods and the stories around the fire, lurks one of the greatest mysteries of our time, Bigfoot. For decades, legends have echoed through the forests, footprints left behind, sightings that defy logic, and questions that demand answers. But this isn't just folklore. This is a call to investigate, to explore, and to uncover the truth. Banter with Richie B isn't just another show. It's a community, a movement, a hub for genuine research, real conversations, and boots-on-the-ground discovery. Every episode dives deep into evidence, expert interviews, field investigations, and the drive to seek what others say is impossible. If you believe in asking questions, if you're ready to get your boots dirty, and if you think the unknown deserves more than just a passing glance, then follow Banter with Richie B. Stay informed, stay sharp, and maybe, just maybe, be the one who finds the truth hiding in the trees.
I love you, baby Jack. I want you guys to keep climbing. I love you, Mama. Bojo's gonna get us out of here because that's what he does.
That's right. Nice meeting you all. Thank you for being on here. And yes, we are home of the poem. Let's go.
Good morning. Welcome to Banter with Richie B live.
Near these huts,
Yep.
there is something going on here.
Behind us after. The trees were fucking moving everywhere. Yeah, bro. Goosebumps.
Maddox, you were with me. We looked this way. It was not like this.
Welcome to Banter with Richie B. Yo, what's up, everybody? Oh, yeah, that's right. He's back. Yeah, we've seen him for a while. Oh, I'm live. Look at that. Say hi, Wojo.
Hey, Wojo.
Oh, wow. Look at the energy on the side already. Welcome to Banter with Richie B Live. This is our Saturday night podcast. If you're new here, if you're on the side quietly listening and you don't want to be exposed, that's fine too. We welcome you, everybody. We are all over the world on Dark Realm TV, every Roku television, every Amazon Fire Stick, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, Apple, you name it, we're on it. Let's go. We're coming to Media Squatch soon. That'll be streamed out to different internet radio stations, all of it, man. We'll be doing a lot of live on that as well. Awesome. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for bringing your energy. We have a very, very, very special show tonight. One of my favorite guests ever, Brian Terrell, is here from Red Dirt Cryptid Investigations. This dude, years ago, or a couple years ago, whatever it was, we found the huts up in north central Massachusetts. And one of the researchers that we used to research with kind of found his site and said, hey, check out this dude. He's got this on his site. Well, the hut was very similar to what we had found. Slight variations, but they have a video of them and his team kind of curious about it as well. And I thought it was kind of like our video. So we reached out to him and he was cool as hell, man. And we sat down with him and had a great conversation. And it was funny, after the end of the first year on Spotify, his video, his podcast appearance was #1 on the BanterWithRichieB podcast through Spotify. So it was pretty awesome. And we were actually 25% worldwide visual podcast on Spotify. So that says a lot. Anyways, Brian Terrell is here. He's got a couple of guests here. We're going to discuss his documentary. We're going to talk about Dogman. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Dogman. Imagine that. So I'm trying to open up my mind and expand the horizons of the brain cell that I have left. The other thing I want to say is we're going to say hi to everybody on the side. Let's see. And one person I see that I haven't seen in a long time, Mr. Ronald is here, all the way from Florida. Mr. Vex City. Where you been, buddy? We missed you. I was like, what did I do to piss him off now? I'm always pissing that guy off. Woo. I think it was sports. I said something. He's so grumpy about the local sports. I said something. He's like, you stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. I love you, dude. Nothing can break the bond of history, my friend. Anyways, let's get Wojo out here. I have a very special, at the beginning, a very special thing we're going to do. You know that we've been talking about, we talked about last week about September being Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. And we have somebody in our very close Banter with Richie B family that has gone through such an unfortunate situation, obviously life-changing. And they've put their biceps on and showed the world how strong they truly are. And I know losing a child, you know, at your weakest moments, you're still stronger than most because you're willing to take that next breath. And that's the facts. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to have Denny come in tonight for a few minutes, make a guest appearance, tell you how you can help and help others. There's donations that can be had. There's ways, more importantly to them, there's ways for you to help. God forbid you have anybody in your life going through this. And he's going to tell you exactly how to tell that person where to go. Go see Denny O'Donnell and his family and Ella's army and get some help, right? A little financial help just to kind of get you through, pay some bills and get your mind off of that so you can go take care of what you need to take care of with your child. So we're going to do that in a moment, but let's get Wojo in real quick. Wojo, where are you? Look at this. House is full. Brian Terrell, I see you back there with your army, my man. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. I was wondering when you were going to come in. What's up, two dudes I don't know? Good to see you. Did you warn them about me, Brian? Usually when we go to family parties and stuff, all the cousins, boyfriends, and girlfriends are all warned about that guy. You need an extra minute? Yeah, go ahead. All right, Wojo, where you at, man? What's up, Wojo?
Oh, you want two dudes? Two dudes? How about these? Boom, boom. Blah. What's up, everybody? Dude, this chat room is insane.
I love it, dude. Well, ask Wojo. That's what I look for. I look for chat. When you get your stats afterwards, it tells you views and all. I could care less about views and all that. But it tells you all about the chat, like 1,000. I think it was 1,000 chats the other day in our live out in the woods. 1,098, meaning you guys were having conversation. You're interacting with each other. That's what the community is all about. That's what I want. That is it. I care less about all the clicks and views. So keep it going, man. Let's go.
Insane.
Right. We're going to go through this fairly quickly. They say hi to each other, so there's 1,000 messages probably already. Sparky was actually first one in there. Sparky, I had sent you something in Messenger. I didn't know if you could help out with that. If not, don't worry about it, man. No stress. D Hoot's in here. What's up, D Hoot? Well, she's giving out information. Our very, very talented producer, Miss Sam. Sam's pretty paranormal. She is the one that makes the guest commercials. If you have something that you want digitally made, digitally created, she is the person to go to. She has a very own business and a college degree to go with it. So we're very fortunate to have her. And she's an amazing person.
And she's got an amazing voice.
And she's very funny when she has whiskey sours. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
D Hoot near. Oh, look at that. Sam, Dogman sighting reported near Asheville. I think it's that. Yeah, that is near her, I believe. Kurt W. What's up, W?
Yes, Kurt.
Kurt W.
A man.
Wicked. Hey, Benno's here all the way from Australia.
He gets these because I love your picture, man.
Yeah, that picture was badass. BOTG member, Boots on the Ground, Andrew DeSante, Senior. Sense and Shadows Paranormal over on YouTube. Make sure you get over there, like, subscribe, and slap him in the mouth while you're there. Thank you. Back to you, Bob. Guys got me all fired up. Look at you see this? Look at Woj. Who's that?
Rock and Ron. Great to see you, brother.
We were just talking about him, huh? Remember we had that whole powwow about Ron?
Oh, Ron's a gift.
I love Ron. Mountain Bucks is here.
Man.
I told him you apologize for what you did to him to make him go away.
Who was it?
I told Ron that you apologized to him.
I always apologize.
I'm just kidding. I talked to Ron. Mountain Bucks, what's up, dude? Tyler, stoned as no doubt. Probably in the grocery store shopping for cupcakes and Twinkies again. TKB. TKB's here. TKB. All right. Gigi's here. Ghost Girl, Mary Newbird. Look at these. Look at this. This is great. Oh, Bigfoot Dwarf. What's up, dude?
Bigfoot. And yes, I do have nice legs, by the way.
Yes. Very nice legs. Yep. We used to have this thing what we did where we would trip on acid back in the 80s. And I remember we would go, "What is up, dude? What is up, dude?" That's what we would do. And that's how you knew you were about to be peaking. So I like to say to Bigfoot Dwarf, "What is up, dude? What is up, dude?" Nothing to do with Bigfoot. Just me acting like an idiot. All right. I think that's everybody. I got everybody.
We got Tyler. Hey, Kenneth Wilkinson. Nice to see you, pal. Thank you for being on here.
Did I see Kenneth? I didn't see Kenneth.
Kenneth, yeah.
I'm going. I can't see him. Sorry, Kenneth. I can't see you.
Everyone's just, dude, it's just, I love the chat and I love the community.
There he is. Good evening, Richie, he says. Good evening, Kenneth. Thank you and welcome back. Be careful. You might become part of the family. You keep showing up.
Yeah.
Yes. That is a red scar. Oh, Martin's here. Martin's
here. Hey.
Well, we're from Boston, so we say Martin. Coleman actually has joined. Okay, someone came back. Did he leave and come back?
Well, if you're south from here, it'll be Mate.
All right, cool. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. You should be eating shrooms before you go squatching. No, I should never be eating shrooms. I'm dangerous. All right, so
Tyler,
listen,
what's going on, pal?
So Brian and his guests just sit tight for 5 more minutes. I'm going to bring out Denny O'Donnell. We're going to talk a little bit quickly about Elazami and how to support Elazami and where to go if you need help, God forbid, or a friend of yours or a cousin's uncle's roommate or somebody you might even know and in a situation with a child with cancer to get a little bit of help, to get a little bit of relief, right? To get a check sent to you to where you can just use that check and save your funds for living expenses and home and all that, car payments, things like that. This is something that they ran into in their unfortunate situation, and they just want to give back. And they've been giving back. They've been part of the Jimmy Fund. They've done a lot of fundraisers and stuff like that. They're very experienced at doing that as well. And Denny's going to be here. Denny's coming in right now to tell you exactly how to send it and where to go. I actually have stuff written down. So if Denny don't remember off the top of his head, I have it written down, Denny. So come on in, buddy. Say hi to everybody. Denny, welcome to Banter with Richie B, brother.
Hey, what's up? Hey, Wojo. Hey,
how you doing, brother? Great to see
Everybody,
you.
I just want to thank you for your courage and being, just being courageous, man, and doing things like this, as I know as well. And we've talked about this. The PTSD is real, and to sit here and do this stuff, it kind of peels back that Band-Aid. But I also know that you're a
Sam.
badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thanks.
So
This is a great platform. Thank you.
no, thank you, man. Thank you for being here. So I think what we're gonna do is this week and next week we're gonna set up reminders because it's September, and then in October sometime when we get some time, I'd love to have you come in and sit down and kind of talk about this, what went on and how you got through that, and not only that, how we believe our children brought us together.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think that story is so remarkable, and I've had many stories in my life, but that one just, you saw it. I had tears rolling down my face. Like I just was like, wow, what is happening here? And you think you're just out researching Bigfoot, but sometimes there's a bigger plan, right? So
Oh, yeah.
there's a bigger plan. So what you guys do is you help other families that need help as you found yourself in a predicament, in a situation financially, that just it just made the burden so much more thicker. And so I can't even imagine that, laying awake at night and going through that. And all you want to do is care for your child and be there for your child and love on your child. And then you have to worry about this big people shit. And it's so hard. And you guys came up with the plan to say, hey, I don't want anybody else to go through that. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's yeah. So in a nutshell, Ella was 10 years old and she was diagnosed January 5th, 2016 with a brain tumor. And she crossed over November 4th, 2016. So 11 months, just 11 months she was sick for. So for us, that's a short, for anybody being sick is a short time. Unfortunately, what happens when these kids get sick, can be a lot longer process to where it drags out for 4 and 5 and 6 years. And then now these parents, are losing jobs. There's only so much vacation time and so much sick time you have. So, the real eye opener for me, and I'll tell you in 1 second what happened, is we went to Children's in Cincinnati for a trial. It was our last ditch effort for Ella. Boston Children's here was great, but if you want to try something that no one's tried yet, you're out of options here. So we had to relocate and go to Ohio. So that in itself, to relocate for a month and a half, we were lucky we had a relative down there, but we still had hotels and originally I was looking to rent an apartment. So when I got down there, we had to come up with certain money, and one of them was $900 for some chemo pills because let me run something by you. I had great insurance, and then from there you go once over $450,000 of bills, which her brain surgery pretty much wiped that out. We had to pick up a supplemental insurance, so I went on Mass Health, Massachusetts Health. So it's in a second program, so they were picking up some stuff. I'm in Ohio. So when I put down the Mass Health card for my chemo pills, I need 2 of them every 4 days, which is $1,800. And she says to me, honey, you're in Ohio. We don't accept Mass Health. I got to go into my pocket. I had some cash on me, went down there knowing how much we were running, so I paid cash for that. The next morning, I say a few prayers, and the next morning I wake up, we go to the hospital, and the Children's Hospital says to us, here's a check for $3,300 from an organization. I said, like, from who? And they said, this organization just helps families like yourself. So that got me through for another week, and then I got another check for $1,400. They're not a huge amount of money, but when you're going through something like this, every nickel helps. Just for gas and for groceries, and when you're commuting, some nights, we had snowstorms. You don't want to drive home. We were fortunate to be close to Children's Hospital, but some parents are driving 2.5, 3 hours every day. You're going back and forth. So just for small things like that, we try to take the burden off.
Yeah, I know. I think it's amazing. And you gave me some information, and I'm going to pass this information on. And then we're going to do this again next week as well.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we get this message out. And it is September, Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. Sorry, I said my allergies. ellasarmy@gmail.com. If you know somebody you want to remain anonymous, however it might be, you could just slip into that ellasarmy@gmail.com. slip them a message and say, hey, I need some help for a friend of mine. Also, you can go over to the Prayers for Ella Facebook and just follow it. Go over there right now when we're on the show, Prayers for Ella Facebook. Go over there and you can shoot a messenger message over there.
There's a GoFund on that too, Richie. The GoFund we do for right now is on Prayers for Ella.
Yep. Prayers for Ella Facebook. The GoFund is there, and you can also see right here, Sparky, our awesome dude, pulled up that link, and it's right here on the bottom of your screen.
Awesome, Sparky.
So you can go right there and do that. Denny is a family member of ours, and you guys in the next, very soon are going to hear the story of how Denny found Richie and Wojo. And just mentioning that, I have goosebumps. So it's quite an amazing story. I was absolutely taken aback by it. You guys are an extraordinary family, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing this information with us. I think it's just huge that we get the word out, that we keep everybody, this in the forefront of their minds, that this is a possibility. Nobody wants to talk. Nobody ever wants to talk about this. We get it. It makes sense.
But when you see the commercially, sometimes you change the channel. You don't want to see it.
Right.
It's not my kid,
Right.
So
right.
It's real. It's real. It's very, and 1 out of every, 5 child, doesn't have such a good success rate with this, there's all sorts of it's so underfunded. You got to remember that it's so underfunded.
Yeah, exactly. And that's and again, this is something to reiterate one more time before we get our guests on, that this organization will write you a check, for whatever amount you guys discuss it. The sky, it's not like the sky's the limit. There is limits, but there's things that they can do to help you. They could give you a check, and you can kind of live off of that check while you're going back and forth to the hospital. In early times, you're still probably working, making some money of your own anyway, so that can be left alone. And this can help you get to the hospital, feed yourselves, hotels, just things like that. That's all. And this is something to give back to the parents, to the guardians, or whoever's taking care of the child. And that way you can just go and give love and not have that extra stress that Danny and his family unfortunately experienced. So we're going to have you back on next week. I thank you so much for coming here.
Love you, man.
You're an amazing little girl. I know what you did, and thank you for that. Thank you.
And what she's continuing to do.
That's Jack's best friend, man.
Jack's best friend, man.
That's Jack's best friend. And we're going to tell you how she's Jack's best friend. It's going to blow your mind. Trust me. But next week, we'll do this again. Thank you, Denny. We'll see you on the side. We appreciate it.
Guys.
Ella's Army, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go. Awesome. No, that's amazing. So that's amazing stuff, and I'm glad to be able to use the platform to do that. And Brian Terrell's time. I use Brian Terrell's time to do that, too. How you like that, Brian? Brian's an awesome dude. I'm not worried about that. So let's get rolling here. Let's bring Brian Terrell out and from Red Dirt Crypt Investigation. What is up, my dude? Dude, wait, time out. Where are you? Are you home?
I'm at home.
You're never home.
I know. I had work to do. Today.
Excuse me. Are you in an antique shop, sir?
No, this is my wife's not home, so yeah, this is her decorating.
Oh, good. That we won't get in trouble then.
Oh yeah.
What's up, brother?
No, man, not much, dude.
It's so good to see your face, man.
I know, you look great. You look like you lost a lot of weight, man. You look great,
right?
Actually, I have. So
yeah, looking trim there, bro.
Yeah, I think all that researching is.
Yeah,
he knew he was going to be on the
in
show.
A year. I'll probably look like some basketball player or something. How skinny and trim.
Oh, I was going to say, where are you getting the skin dye from?
I know, right? He's a killer.
Oh, no, I'm not easy. I don't give a shit. No. Everybody have fun, live life.
Some things do help, yeah.
No, you look great. You look healthy. It's good to see you. You got a lot of good positive stuff going on in the Bigfoot/Dogman world. And
sure.
Dude, I was excited to hear from you. Do you want to bring your guests in and we could talk a little bit what's been going on with them, or you just want to leave them backstage, eat grapes and drink wine?
I don't know. It's tempting, but I guess we probably should before.
All right. Which one first do you think? Oh, one left.
Let's bring Eric on.
No, he left. I don't see
Oh, did
him.
he?
I don't see him. I see Coleman.
Well, I guess that settles that.
Why? Where's Eric go? Does Eric get mad and leave?
Well, he is my tech guy, so he's probably having technical issues.
Oh yeah, all tech people have technical issues. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Let's bring Coleman in. What's up, Coleman? How you doing, bro? Whoa, hey,
Whoa, hey.
hey,
Woo.
whoa,
What's going on?
whoa. We need a tech guy. We need a tech guy. Coleman's gone rogue.
Why is this happening?
Oh no, I got that part.
Come in, NASA. Come in.
Do you want to shoot Eric a text and see if he'll come back? Is he okay?
Oh, we just lost him.
Yeah.
What is going on?
What's up with your team?
Can y'all hear me at least? Is that good?
Yeah,
we can.
I can hear him.
Yeah, we can hear you.
At least I can hear
Welcome, Coleman.
Welcome,
Thank
Coleman.
you guys.
Yeah, getting a coffee. Be back soon. I like when Benno announces that he's going to get a coffee. I'm going to get a coffee. So
I don't know what time it is there, but it is definitely not coffee time here.
Well, it's 6:30 or something.
In the morning, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't do nighttime coffee, dude. I have energy drinks, and I bounce off the freaking wall, man. It's crazy. I was just talking to somebody because I don't drink alcohol. As a matter of fact, today is the day that I surrendered my demons. September 20th of 1997, I walked into my first AA meeting. They asked me what I'd like my sobriety date to be. And I looked at them and I said, what do you mean? And they're like, what do you like your sobriety date to? When you got sober. And I'm like, well, I came home
what time is it?
Yeah, I said, I came home last night, but I got to be honest with you. They're like, what? I go, I'm still fucked up. And I had a 7-day run and I'm a mess. And I go, can I just add 24 hours to it? And it's your sobriety day. You can do what you want. So I added September 21st. I went one whole day. So the day I celebrate my sobriety is tomorrow. And it's crazy, but I wanted to bring up the 20th more often because the unique thing here is the gentleman who saved my life basically helped me get back and forth to meetings. His birthday's today. So his birthday and my birthday, I guess you could say, are today. And then the cool thing is 22 years sober, my son Brooks was born 6 years ago tomorrow. So we share that date together. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. 9/21/97, man. That's my sobriety date, but this is the day I surrendered. So 28 years sober. Right. Yep. And if I can do it, you sure as hell can do it. I know my boy Vexity talks about it, and he could do it. Then you definitely can do it.
Well, I'm trying. It's been about 29 years. So
29 years. God
I'll let you know if it works out, though.
Yeah, let me know how that goes, man. So
I'm still thinking about it a lot.
So thank you, Spocky. So 96
was no, I don't know. Let me think here. It would have been my daughter was 2. She was okay. It's been. I've never really counted it up. I think it's been 25 years.
Yep. So you were just like, I'm done. All right. So here's the update on your guests. We've lost Coleman completely.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, I'm hard to get used to. You know what I mean? I'm like fungus. You got to let me grow on you. You know what I mean? That's it. It took my mother like her whole life, you know. And now we have. We have an empty seat. Oh, wait. And now, wait, this just in. Breaking news. Eric is back.
All right.
You're probably like, what kind of shit show did you invite me to, Brian? Eric, you're live in front of the whole world. What's up, buddy? Nothing.
He messaged me earlier and said that he couldn't hear anything.
Oh, is he on a phone?
And I don't know what to tell him because I'm actually using my phone to do this, so I can't exactly message him back.
Let me see if I could private message him because we know how this works. All right. So
he just vanished.
I moved him.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see for the host and other guests. Let's see, Eric. So all right. Tell us how your research has been going while I shoot Eric a text message, okay?
Oh, Lord. Okay, so it's probably been a year since I've given you guys an update.
Yep.
And during that year, we've been basically doing a little bit of field research, but we've been focusing on this documentary that we've been working on. And it started out as just a documentary about Bigfoot research in Oklahoma and some of the tactics that we do and some of the stuff that we do when we're out there. And it was basically supposed to be about evidence and, flesh and blood aspect. But it wasn't too terribly long after we got into this. It was like weird stuff started happening. And we had a series of like unusual things happen. And we ended up getting into, there's Coleman.
I just figured I just brought some right in without announcing it because you were talking.
There
What's
he
up,
is.
Coleman? Welcome to Banter with Richie B, man. This is my co-host, Wojo.
What's up, brother?
And this guy down here is
Hey.
Brian Terrell. This guy.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry for all the technical issues earlier. So
Nah, man. Listen, dude, I'm sitting here without any pants on talking to you, so don't be worried. All right. Enjoy the visual. Bye.
I thought that was required.
He's like, thank God I'm in my car and no one can't hear this. I hope you're not driving.
We're only worldwide. So you got a documentary that you're focusing on, right? And I'm waiting.
Yeah, we were working on it for probably about 9 months, and we were going out to all these different places, and Coleman was wanting to go to this place we call Brown Springs, and Brown Springs is kind of like your Bridgewater Triangle, there's more than one thing going on there, and similar to like the Skinwalker Ranch type deal where you're seeing people are reporting multiple types of phenomenon, all kinds of unusual and strange stuff, but it's all like happening same location, And so I was like, what the heck, I'm not really all about this stuff because Brown Springs is kind of known for like ghosts and UFOs and stuff like that too. And I thought, well, I don't know. But anyway, so we ended up going down there, and what we ended up getting, and we didn't even realize it at the time. Oh, there's Eric.
I've just tested to see if he can hear. Eric, can you hear me? Shake your head if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Eric.
No.
Not looking good there.
No. But I put a message in the private chat. I don't even know if he knows the private chat's there. It tells him how to do it.
I don't know.
Yeah. So you go to Brown Springs. It's known for ghosts. We know you're not a paranormal guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really my cup of tea.
Right.
I don't necessarily disbelieve it, but I've never had a ghost encounter, nothing like that. And I'm just, and I'm like, okay, we'll humor Coleman, and there are Bigfoots and Dogman reported out there. Let's get this done. Well, I get there and I come rolling up, and Eric's already there, and he's talking to a couple of other people that we do research with. And I no more than get out of my car and get out and start walking up. I'm like, hey, guys, what's going on? And something throws a rock from out in the woods, and it hits a tree right on the outskirts of camp.
Damn.
Just bam, and I looked at Eric, and I was like, I guess, I said, you got an audio recorder out? And he's like, well, not yet. I go, I guess we better get that done. And it started out like that, where we had like stuff moving around the trees, and so some of the classic Bigfoot type activity.
Yep.
But by the time we ended up getting home, we ended up finding weird stuff on the audio from when we were down at the springs.
Right.
Coleman, you want to tell him a little bit about the springs?
Yeah. So everyone can hear me good still? Just want to make sure.
Yep. Good. You sound great, man.
Not too ahead of myself. Okay. All right. Cool deal. Yeah. So Brown Springs, I had actually filmed there prior. I filmed a documentary a while ago called Expedition Alone, and it was just one of the areas we went to. It was when I was first getting into Bigfoot cryptid research and So I wanted to go back there. I had a really weird experience that happened a little bit after the fact, where I think something might have followed me. That's a whole other story, but pretty much me and my wife had the same exact dream at the same exact time of a woman in white and white dress, dark hair, talking to me while I was sleeping. And so I always joke that I went there to look for Bigfoot and ended up having a really crazy paranormal experience. So, so there's an old cemetery there that Brian was talking about, and there's like a natural springs there that right at the bottom at the base of this old cemetery. And when I say old, it's very old. I mean, there's headstones there from like the 1850s and like, you know, around that time frame. It's a very, very old cemetery. And, and I know a lot of people say, I've heard a lot of paranormal researchers say they think, you know, running water, moving water, springs, stuff like that can be like a conductor or like a source of energy or, you know, things like that. So that, you know, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility. But Brian, do you want me to get into the whole EVP thing? You want me to get into all that as well? So, so we were there filming. We were doing at all the locations we went to for this documentary. We did night investigations. We did obviously daytime stuff, but we also did some like night hikes or whatever. And so for this time, you know, I wanted to go to the cemetery because there has been not only paranormal ghost type stuff reported, you know, activity there, but also cryptid reports at the cemetery. And, you know, I know that's a thing for Dogman as well. A lot of Dogman reports happen, sometimes sightings in cemeteries. So, you know, Brown Springs has Dogman reports. So I thought, you know, let's do that. And I wanted to try at this location too. I do some of the paranormal research, and I wanted to see, you know, because there's always that debate is, you know, how much, you know, is there a connection between cryptids and the paranormal? You know, is there a connection between Bigfoot and the paranormal, Dogman and the paranormal? You hear this all the time. And so what I wanted to do, at least for this specific location, was, okay, why don't we go into one of these hotspots where there seems to be kind of a convergence, if you will, of like cryptid and paranormal stuff going on at the same location. And why don't we do like an EVP session just to see what we get, to see if we get anything, you know, just to try to research that and explore that a little bit more. And so, so we did that. We're looking, and we had a Panasonic recorder. We didn't get anything during the actual EVP session, but when we came back, kind of similar to the dream thing I was talking about, where like a week later something happens. It's kind of similar to that. I get back a couple months later. I start editing the Brown Springs portion of the documentary, and I'm going through the nighttime investigation. And during that, I hear this audio come through, and it just this clear, audible voice that's coming through. And I thought, well, that's strange because during that clip, no one's talking. It's during our nighttime hike where I'm with Brian, I'm filming Brian, and we're just trying to catch up with the rest of the group. No one's talking, you know, everyone's focused on, you know, researching, looking around them. We're not conversating, no one's chit-chatting, nothing like that. It's just silence, just us walking. And Brian had his lapel mic on, the DJI lapel mic that we had on his chest rig. But there's this voice coming through. And so I take the clip, I isolate it, I turn the volume up, and trying to be, you know, long story short, as much as possible, this voice clearly says, quote, "Say this place is haunted." That's it. It just says, "Say this place is haunted." And I just thought, well, that's really odd because first off, why would any of us say that? And number two, like, you know, no one responds to the voice. It's not like, you know, no one says anything back to this voice, and it's clear as could be. And Brian's got, like I said, that lapel mic. So whatever said this, for it to have come through as clearly as it did, would have to have talked like right by the lapel mic on his chest rig. And there's no one near Brian really. And I know I didn't say it because I don't recall saying it at all. And number two, I'm busy filming Brian. You know, I'm watching Brian. I'm making sure he's staying focused on the camera. You know, it's nighttime. We got lots of lights out there. You know, the camera gets out of focus very easily. You know, I'm focused on filming Brian, making sure he stays in frame, you know, making sure I'm doing my thing as, you know, the camera guy. And, you know, I'm not, and even if I were to say something, it wouldn't be, "Say this place is haunted." It just makes no sense. And I know Brian would have been like, you know, me and Brian talked about it afterwards, and he laughed and said, if anyone had said that, he would have laughed at them, you know, like, what? Like, I don't know. And so we put it on a spectrogram. I told Brian, I told Eric about it, sent the audio to Brian. He agreed with what it was saying. It was saying something like, "Say this place are haunted," or, you know, "They say this place is haunted," or something like that. But it's saying, "Say this place is haunted." And he puts on a spectrogram, and I've learned since then, since talking to other researchers, paranormal researchers, about this, but we noticed that the voice that came through, when you look at audio on a spectrum of a human speaking, for example, it's got vocal tone. Our voices that hit different frequencies, and that shows up as an audio signature as a clear, bright light on the spectrogram, with it hitting those different frequencies and different layers. Anyone who's looked at a spectrum knows what I'm talking about. So, but this didn't have that. This had an audio signature where it was just like it was there on the spectrogram, but it was ever slow. It was just like a purple little signature, like some dots. And we thought that was very odd. And it was almost like the only way I could describe it was, instead of something speaking into the mic and then that signature going into the camera onto the audio, instead it was like something ingrained the voice into the audio file itself, if that makes sense. I know that's weird, but when you look at EVP and EVP research, that's kind of what is speculated, is that whatever these voices are, it's not like it's not like it's audibly speaking to the recorder, otherwise people would hear it. It's as if they can somehow imprint the voice onto the audio file, however they do that. But that's just one of the weird things about EVP phenomena that I learned since then. But the weirdest thing, to top it all off, and I'll let Brian kind of share his viewpoints if he wants to add on to it, we thought it was weird. We're like, okay, we'll include this in the documentary. But then Brian, a couple of days later, I think, sent me an audio clip. Like I said earlier, we went to the cemetery to do that EVP session. We didn't get anything from the EVP session itself. We didn't get anything from the Panasonic recorder that we had. But Brian did have an audio recorder, I believe, on his chest rig at that time, recording that he started after the fact, And in that audio, you can hear me doing the EVP session, and in it, I say the phrase "a lot of people say," and keep in mind, this is about 30 minutes or about 45 minutes to an hour after we had caught that EVP. We weren't even in the cemetery yet. We were walking near the springs, about to go into the cemetery, and no one obviously knew that we had caught that EVP. But about 45 minutes to an hour later, we start the EVP session inside the cemetery, and apparently I start the EVP session and I say, quote, "a lot of people say this place is haunted." And so just a really weird thing. I can only speculate. I don't, but I told Brian, like, was this like a subliminal thing? Like, it said it and I picked it up, obviously not audibly, but on a subconscious thing, and I repeated it. Like, it wanted me to say that phrase, say this place is haunted, and I did. I don't know. I say this all the time when I recount this story. I didn't feel weird. I didn't feel compelled to say it or anything like that. But looking back in retrospect, it is kind of weird, because I do remember when I've done multiple EVP sessions. I've been to different locations, investigate, research. I've done that before, and I usually always start it the same way. But I remember this time I did feel, when I started this, I didn't know what to say for some reason. Like, I didn't know how to start the EVP session off. And you'll hear that in the documentary. When I started, I kind of hesitated a little bit, but that's just what came to my mind was, a lot of people say this place is haunted, and then I go on to start asking questions. It was kind of weird. So I don't know. There's so many different speculations on that, but whether it's something subliminal influencing me to say it, or if it's like, I don't know, I've heard people suggest like time loop. Like, me and Brian were joking about that at one point. It's like, is this a time loop or something? I don't know. I could go on and on, but it was weird. It was one of the weirdest things, and I don't know what to make of it, but it was definitely something that we had to include in the documentary. So I look forward to people seeing it and sharing.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think something like that, it's something that you got to kind of, that's what research is for, right? Research is a quest for facts. And I think that's something, like, we do a lot of different experiments in our gift and share area that, are unexplainable, of course. But, we kind of know what we're dealing with in a sense. But my point is, a collection of data repeating over and over again and getting the same results can turn to science eventually. That's basically what they do. So, and I got that from a friend of mine that's a scientist, Matt Moniz, as people know, hangs out with us and stuff. And he's the one who used that phrase. And he says, that's what you're doing. You're collecting data and you're repeating it over and over again. You're getting the same results. You're showing a trend, right? Or a tendency. So I think something like that, it's probably, with paranormal, it's different, I think, because paranormal, for me, without a residual haunting, it doesn't necessarily repeat. But if you get something like that, it sounds intelligent, and it's doing similar things, right? Then you're starting to collect some form of data. And then on top of that, you know, like you mentioned, the paranormal world and the cryptid world running side by side, right? There's a lot of that. I did a cross show where we had me doing Bigfoot and my buddy doing paranormal. And we had all kinds of EVPs on my very land where I had my experiences with Bigfoot. So to have them say they run hand in hand, sure, why not? And it's just a matter of collecting the data. So I think if you get more and more of that, what's the name of the documentary there, Brian?
It's called Whispers in the Wood. Whispers from the Woods.
Whispers from. Is there a release date on that?
The 26th
of October, or this month?
No, yeah, a week from now.
Woo!
Nice.
Yeah.
Woo! Do you have it up on YouTube now, kind of waiting, or is it going to be?
It's loaded. Yeah, it's loaded. It's sitting there percolating.
So we have a link that we can grab.
Yes, I will.
The premiere is set, so yeah, people want to go check it out and set their notifications on. We want to make sure it's there well advanced, so that way people can, you know, get the reminders going, and so when it uploads or drops officially, they can see it live. So yeah,
awesome. So whispers from the woods. Is that what we said there? All right.
And there's a reason why it's called that too.
Oh, I bet you there is. No, I bet you there is. So did this end up being like a triple play, like, you know, where you had some paranormal mix in? You don't have to get into details. I know we don't want to be doing.
Well, no, I mean we feel fairly confident that we can talk about some of this stuff. You know, because I think people are going to want to hear this stuff. You know, at the very beginning of the video, in the doc, we're out at one of our locations, 7A, and we actually captured some really good what we believe to be Bigfoot vocalizations, but it's heavily mixed in with some coyotes, and we're still trying to figure out what is the deal with the coyote relationship with the Bigfoots and what's really going on there. But I think when the Bigfoot sounds off, you will definitely, you know, recognize it. And then towards the end of the video, towards the end of the documentary there, we actually stumbled on something that I personally think is kind of groundbreaking. I don't know. Have you ever heard of anybody capturing audio of Bigfoot's whispering back and forth to each other?
Oh my God, we got to talk.
Yeah, we got to talk.
Oh, you have something? You've done that before?
So we got to talk.
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
We're going to talk.
Well, we actually we didn't realize it at the time, and it wasn't until like a week later or something like that when I was reviewing audio. And then that's when I kind of discovered it. I just kind of stumbled on this, and we, you know, Coleman had an encounter with something on the road that was kind of like a shadow, you know, moving across the road, and apparently these two Sasquatch, I think they might have been young ones. One of them I think had been hanging out by my audio recorder, which that is turning out to be something that's like normal for them. When we go to these hot spots where we know that they're at, you know, year round, they will come in and they will select a spot right next. They'll sit down right next to our audio recorder and they'll fidget. They'll sit there and throw stuff at it. And, you know, first couple of times I heard this, I was like, you know, maybe an acorn fell and maybe a stick. But you know, is a stick gonna hit my audio recorder 60 times in one night? You know, so
all right, time out 1 second.
Oh,
hey, I know you got it now. I see your microphone. I see it, Eric.
Hey, can you see me?
Yeah, see you, hear you. Look,
is it karaoke night?
All right, guys.
Yeah, you got your cat's butthole live all over the world. Everything's great. Things are good.
Careful where you point that thing.
Yeah, careful, bro. And
Is it fully automatic?
Yeah. Did you kick Coleman out and take his sound? Because he's gone.
He just messaged me, said he's having tech issues now too. So.
Oh,
I resorted to my laptop, not my cell phone.
hey, can you look at the camera and go, yep?
No.
He's like, that's negative.
Is that a thing?
He doesn't know what he's getting into. Yet,
Is that hey, Brian, is that a thing? Does he know that? Does he know he looks like that guy?
Storage Wars?
Yeah. Look at the camera and go, yep.
Who yeah?
Yeah, we do extra shit around here. So all right, we're at the recorder, and you think things are being chucked at it.
Oh yeah. So we're just kind of sitting there. Eric and Coleman and I were out there just freezing our asses off, trying to make something happen, and it's just we felt like at the time that we were just striking out. And Coleman, we didn't have a campfire. We were going campfireless that night, which that might have been a mistake. But
looking back,
and Coleman's like, the hell with this. I got to get up and walk around. I'm about to freeze to death.
Right.
So he gets up and he just takes off walking. And I was like, I think I'm going to do the same. So I got up and I went the other way. Right. And so I'm over there and messing around on the edge of the shore and stuff. And I don't know how much time passed, but all of a sudden I can hear Coleman and he's like, Brian. And I was like, what the hell? What's going on? And so I'm like, I'm over here because I was over there in the dark with no flashlight. And he's like, and I think I just saw something over here. And I was like, well, tell me what happened. And basically he was over there walking around with no flashlight, just kind of running off the moonlight because I don't think it was a full moon, but it was like dang near a full moon. And he just looks over there and there's something black like on the edge of the road, kind of up next to a tree. And he's just like, what is that? About that time, this thing stands up and it walks across the road into the deep woods there. And
nice.
So long story short, he thought he'd like seen something, but he wasn't sure. Yeah. And he was just kind of like, well, maybe it was my imagination, blah, 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 blah. Yep. So, and we kind of blew it off. Like we wasn't even going to put any of this in the documentary. And we just kind of figured that trip was a whitewash,
Yeah.
And, but anyway, I get back home and I'm sitting there listening to it. And I got to the point where, the audio recorder is picking up Coleman and he's telling the story and I'm listening. I can tell he's like excited. And I was like, well, I'm going to listen to him tell the story again, And so I'm just kind of sitting there listening. And whatever this thing was, apparently after it crossed the road there, we assumed that the thing just left and it was like, got the hell out of Dodge. No, way off. No, this thing actually closed the gap and came closer to camp.
Oh,
and
shit.
Yeah. And balls, man.
Well,
and,
I that night, right after it happened, I walked down the road by myself. Remember, you guys were watching me?
Yeah.
So Coleman told me when to stop when I was at the area where he seen it cross and all that. And of course, I didn't go like, oh my God, I'm so scared or anything, because I had my sword with me.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
Lord, man.
I pulled out my Schwartz.
But it
was
Your Schwartz is bigger than mine.
My name is Montoya, whatever his name is. You've killed my father.
Yeah.
Prepared to die. No, it was creepy down there. It did have a feel. I mean, maybe it was just, we're all talking about the scary thing that, but it was quiet and creepy. Yeah. The thing was probably there like, this idiot. He's walked right by me twice.
Yeah.
Sure. Apparently we did. We walked right by it,
Oh, and how many times have you though? Think about it. How many times?
Think about
you'll
never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
right. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
you don't know.
But whenever Coleman saw that thing and come running back down there, and then we talked in camp, and then we headed back. About the time we were headed back to come back over there, apparently there was two of them there, and you can hear them whispering to each other. It's like one of them wanted to make sure that the other one knew that we were coming back.
Can you imitate it?
Well,
was it like a background like?
No, you can pretty much hear it now. As a matter of fact, I did have to go back and listen to it a bunch, but basically it sounded like a human voice in a way, but it wasn't speaking no English. It goes, hi, hi. And then it says, Bushqua. And then you hear the other one go,
No.
What was the word?
What was the word?
Cool sword.
Like bush.
Cool sword. Fuck it.
No,
Bush,
we didn't say that.
All right, I liked Eric better when he was quiet. Bye, Eric.
Whoa! These are the games we play here.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the show, brother. That's how we do things.
If you're bad, you get
if you're bad,
purgatory.
Yeah. Yes. I've cut off your leg. Man your flesh wound, old boy. Go ahead.
That's how he keeps us in line whenever we're out.
Keep these guys in check. So what was the word you said? Because I'm interested in possibly using that word now. What was it?
I guess Bushqua.
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 And
we actually reached out to some people, because a lot of people around here say that they speak the Native American language of the Native Americans in the area.
We use it a lot,
And we reached out and we kind of came up empty-handed. So, and the tribe that's, local to that area is the Cherokees. So, and we just, we found somebody that knew an old indigenous lady that spoke the native tongue, and she was basically like, hell, I've never heard of that. So, but anyway, we kind of struck out on that deal. We don't know what it means or what it was, but I mean, the only thing that we know is it kind of sounded human, but at the same time, there's no way that was a human that walked in there. I mean, there's one road into this place, and you would have to probably walk several miles to get back into this location with no flashlight, which might have actually been doable because of the way the moon was. But, we actually later on, we went on a night hike about an hour later, and we were gone for at least an hour. And like none of our stuff got stolen. Nothing got tampered with. I mean, it was just left alone.
Can I ask you a question? I'm sorry. Can I ask you a question? Of course, I'm a researcher. Was there possibly another? Was it definitely a bee? Was there something in front of the Bushqua?
That's kind of. I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard.
You ready? You ready? So I look it up. It says the name Bushqua is not a word itself in any Native American language, but is likely a phonic variation of an Ojibwe.
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 Okay.
Ojibwe. Yep.
I'm Italian. I ain't saying shit. Word related to the color white. It says Wabishqua.
So you're telling me that the Sasquatches are racist?
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously it's 25. Wabishqua, which literally means it is white.
Yeah.
My van is white. Maybe they were saying what a cool van, or
it is a cool van.
The van is
that's in the variation of what I came up with Wabishqua. So, and if you think about it, the Wapot would be very, very quiet compared to the Bishqua because of the B pronunciation compared to the Wabishqua. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe, and then it says, or she, or all right. There's another version, Wabishqua, but it's with the Kiiwe. It's she or he is white.
Okay, Elder's on here.
Is a white. Is Elder here?
Todd say Elder.
So
go ahead, Rich. You can probably ask her.
Elder, not to jump right on things, but I got a question for you. These gentlemen here are from Oklahoma, and the Cherokee is probably the dominant in that area, I guess, where you guys were researching.
In that particular area.
Yes, yeah. So they have a recording, they believe Bigfoot's kind of whispering about them being in the area. And what they make of the recording is, but what is it? I just went blank. Bishqua. But it sounds like a B, Bishqua. So I researched, it says Wabishqua, meaning it's white, or he or she is white. Do you have anything to add to that, maybe, Elder? Tansei Elder, by the way.
Right. Or Eric. Were you guys are not near any Native American land, right? It's just,
well,
maybe they
Oklahoma.
just.
Well, yeah, I mean, Oklahoma's probably got all kinds.
Yeah, so they're probably like trying to figure like who you are, and they're like getting closer to get a good look, and maybe they're just saying you're not native, you're white. That's a guess from me.
Well, I mean that's if it's Wabishqua. I'm just saying.
Right.
I think they had been watching us for a considerable amount of time because the recorder strikes had been going on for several hours at that point. So I'm pretty sure they had already had a pretty good look at us by that time.
And a good smell too. I mean, they can smell you up to 20 miles.
They were probably smelling my Jack Links.
All over your Jack Links, boy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam, for that comment. But but I'm serious. I wonder because the form of communication between them, and we'll talk a little bit after the show, like we said, is far. Well, that's what he said, D Hoot. Correct. Are you paying attention? Turn the volume up, Miss D Hoot. I just said he said Bishqua, and I looked it up, and there's the only word close to that they associate with it in another native tongue is Wabishqua, and that's the meaning to that. So whether they recorded the or not, I don't know. I'm just giving them different ideas. But thank you, D Hoot. D Hoot's pretty awesome. We love D Hoot. Hey, Joe Fox, way to show up on time, kid. Way to buy a watch. Let's go. Woo! Love watches. These things are freaking amazing.
Yeah.
But so the communication they have between each other, we don't know of that. There's nothing in the world of that. We know, whoop, and yeah. Well, guess what, folks? That ain't them talking to each other about anything.
Yeah.
They're not like, oh, meet me over at the beer stand to the left of the oak tree. That ain't what that is. That's like, hey, the idiots are here again, or hey, where are you at? What's your location? Type of thing, right? Like a knock or something. That can all be associated with that. But when they're in a circle, perhaps at a gifting chair, they must have a different language. They must.
Yeah.
They're not going to look across 10 feet, 5 feet for, like what the hell would they do that for? You think that's what they do? No, that's ridiculous, right? And why not have different languages all over the world? Like we have different languages all over the world. Well, guess what, folks? Before we all inundated America, there was different languages between tribes. So why wouldn't they have their own, maybe perhaps clan language or something like that? So just saying.
I don't know. It was very interesting. We're still trying to figure it out. But we put it in the documentary for people to kind of get their opinion on. Maybe some people have some insight into that. Let them shoot some holes in it. We actually put it on a spectrograph so that you can actually see it. We're talking about, maybe afterwards doing like a longer version breakdown video of all of that audio and maybe throw in some extra for the people, the perverse individuals that are interested in audio. So
I think it's great. Now, Eric, how long have you look like you've been researching Bigfoot? You know, obviously by what he's saying, but so you're not just a tech guy. You're a Bigfoot guy,
Oh, he's
right?
more than that.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Like,
He's
is he
also
more of a
security.
Oh,
What happened?
yeah, I can see that by his sword. His sword. Eric. Hey, we got a show going on. If you,
Oh, gee.
yeah,
Don't
sorry,
get Indigo Montoya anymore.
sorry to bother you. Sorry to bother you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a tech guy.
Yeah, I can tell that by I can tell by that your very late entrance. I love it. Sorry, I'm the only one laughing. I hate when that happens.
Well, I got into this years ago. I had a job that I drive hotshot deliveries around the country for aircraft parts, really, out of Wichita, and I could be gone for 30 some hours at a time, going in a straight line just to deliver a light switch or a fire extinguisher or whatever for this aircraft. My secret weapon was podcasts, to stay awake.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it just interesting. And I am ADHD. After a while, watching these or listening to these stories and the interviews, I started seeing patterns, what to look for. I learned that way, the armchair professional, I guess. And then I reached out to Brian one time. I started buying gear. Reached out to Brian. He invited me out, and we've been going ever since.
Nice, dude. Nice. Now, what's your take? Now, how do you feel when people talk about the woo of it and the flesh and blood of it, and how about when Brian brought up Dogman? Did you bring up Dogman to Brian, or Brian brought it? Were you the tweaker in the woods that made the first structure that he found?
Well, I did see. Years before this even happened, I was driving north of Wichita on I-35 early in the morning. The sun was not up yet. It was foggy, and there was a black canine-looking creature standing on all fours, 4 feet at the shoulders, facing west. Right there by those white reflective road markers, right?
Yeah.
I go, holy cow, what was that? This cryptids was never on my mind. I slowed down a little bit. I seen the white teeth and the eyes, and I just kept going though. About a mile or two down the road, the same thing, but a little smaller. It was all black again, facing west, right along those markers. And I didn't think of it much after that until I met Brian. We got talking. Was that a Dogman? It was unusual. It was not a coyote. That thing was 4 feet at the shoulders,
right,
standing on all fours.
In what state was that in?
Just north of Wichita, Kansas.
Okay. Yeah.
And between it was just between like Park City and just north of whatever town's north of there, I forget. But it's rural area, but it wasn't desolate or isolated like that. It was a weird moment. But since then, there's strange things out there. We encounter a lot of weird things, just footprints for lack of better terms, tree structures that look suspicious, and often more so. We could rule them out as natural falling down. But there's been a lot of weird stuff. And then the auto recordings Brian talked about earlier is very interesting stuff. I'm not going to say, I believe, or I really don't talk about the woo, or you want me to get crazy and controversial. I think the woo is technology given by aliens. That's
okay.
Orbs can be vehicles.
Wow.
They just float around in their vehicle, and then I don't know.
It's funny
There's
when
no
you bring.
scientific evidence saying otherwise.
Well, that's right. So when you bring that, and that's what I was going to say. It could be anything in this. Anything is possible in this, and that's what I have found. Because when I first started, what's up, Tim? How you doing? Ohio Bigfoot Researchers, man. Check them out on YouTube, please.
Tim.
When I started having experience with what I had finally figured out was Bigfoot and what they had done. They do, right? Their tendencies. I think Brian used the word earlier. Say Robin.
Hey, Robin.
And it was flesh and blood for me. I didn't know much in that sense, and then as my research went further, I evolved with my research as my research evolved. So I followed it. And then it became, it went from the missing link gorilla to the primitive human, and then it went to the primitive human closer to the missing link with both DNAs on a higher frequency. Right on a high, and then I was like, well, psychics and mediums are on higher frequencies. Why couldn't this creature be on a high? Because I was experiencing things that you had to be, let's say, gifted in order to make me hear or make me see. Right, the self-illuminating eyes was something that I didn't buy into that. But the red ones that you see behind me on Jackson, our logo, is what I saw in the woods. And I can't take that away. I experienced that. I didn't just experience red dots. It moved. It looked down right at me and went back up in position. That's on YouTube Live. That's not something that I can just make up and try to bullshit people, because we do our events live on YouTube. There is no edit room here. Sometimes grainy, sometimes shitty, sometimes dark, sometimes flashlight. Sometimes me holding the phone over Wojo's shoulder while he's working the floor. I mean, it is very generic and basic shit. But
that part's annoying.
It is kind of shoulder. I know. Especially when I'm like all up against your butt.
With your bated breath.
Oh my God. Mojo, do you see it?
I'm sitting there, the time he almost pushed me down a hill. He's like this. Right, he's like this. I'm going over the hill. He grabbed me.
Yeah, I saved his life, is what he's saying.
But you pushed him first.
Yeah, exactly. But I do have a question after.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead, Wojo. What's your question, sir? Welcome to the show.
It goes to the tech guy.
Tech guy.
So, Eric, when you guys are at the camp and what have you guys had any issues with your equipment, having like technical difficulties that you kind of like wonder, hey, what's going on here, whatever? Only because we do, and we believe it's,
we believe they interfere with our stuff, is what my friend Wojo is trying to say as he reminisces about the visual of me almost knocking him down a hill.
No, I don't think so. There's a lantern we leave on all night, and that stays.
But do you use your phones for any kind of research? Do you video record on your phone, or you have cameras? You have different types. So I go on my phone YouTube Live, right? And I've been telling my fellow researchers, I call them on the side. A lot of people that you see here tonight come out with us live. They put on their headphones and they look through our camera and they they collect evidence, and they're part of the investigation. It's a virtual world that they're researching in, and we're a great team. But I said to them a while back, we started talking. It just seemed really odd. Like we had one run by us like 60 feet away, crashing through the woods, and I'm holding my phone up. My 14-year-old son's here. I'm on YouTube Live. Wojo's right here. I'm yelling. There it is. I could see like the small area of black in the back, and you could see the trees kind of getting flung behind it. It was going side to side. And you could see mostly trees. Don't get me wrong. There was only an area of this where I made out black. But I'm holding my phone and going, there it is, like, woohoo! I'm waiting for the confetti to come down. Jesus Christ is going to high-five me, the whole 9 yards. And I look at my phone, and it says, your phone's black. Your screen's black. I'm like, what are you talking about? And it took me like 5 minutes to get my phone. I could see everything they were saying, but they could no longer see me. It was completely frozen. And you go back to the live, and that area is just cut, spliced, and gone. And then you come in afterwards, and it's really weird. So that's one of the first big experience I had. What? Oh, shout out to happy birthday to his daughter. Oh,
and my phone inverted too.
Right, and his phone inverted. So that was the beginning of this. So now we have, whenever they're around, it seems, I said to everybody, let's start collecting data on this. Whenever I go, oh my God, you hear that? Oh my God, I hear something over there. Was that a knock? And then the phone reconnects and things start going crazy. Let's document that. Let's see how many times. We had what, 7 or 8, I said, in 2 investigations that happened. Mm-hmm. And now areas where I never had any technical problems whatsoever, like walking in, I never had a problem. Get a little glitchy maybe, but now it's just stop, reconnect, flip back to YouTube. Stop, reconnect back. It happens before we get to the gifting chair. And it's crazy. And that's maybe if you haven't had something like that, maybe there's an experiment you could do perhaps that maybe we could compare data together. And we kind of document it, right? Because that's what we got to do. That's when we found Brian. Brian wasn't a gatekeeper. He was willing to share his information and have conversation with us. And it was huge because he had a hut that I believe that they were all excited about, video recording, getting in it and everything. And I had this almost the same exact video, except the trees were different. That's all, because they're in Oklahoma and we're in New England. So of course the trees are going to be different. Of course the structure is going to be made slightly different, right? But everything, the questions were the same, right, Brian? You remember that? It was crazy. And Brian opened his door to us, and we all had great conversations. So maybe this is something we can do too. Benno, I just want to say happy birthday, happy 13th birthday to your daughter, Indy. Thank you so much. I hope she's not watching this show. Wojo was very out of line and vulgar. So get her out of the room, but wish her a happy birthday from the Banter RichieB family. All right, thank you. Happy birthday, Indy.
Happy birthday.
The stuff we use out. Happy birthday. The stuff we use out in the field, I would recommend always that you use the same. Everyone have the same equipment. Coleman and I each use GoPros. I have 2, the GoPro 12s. Mm-hmm. I mount them on the front and back of my chest rig. I have a large external battery. The GoPro batteries last 20 minutes. Yeah, this will keep us going for about an hour and a half.
Right. Yeah, I got like 5 of those.
When you plug it in.
Yeah. And my thing's a little different, not to cut you off, but my thing's a little different because I'm on YouTube Live, and the really only way you can get on there is through a phone. They don't make cameras that you can watch.
We don't do a whole lot of live.
Sure, but the phone you use is important.
It's a pain in the ass.
Often, I use a Metro by T-Mobile.
Yeah.
And I don't have service a lot of places. However, I bought a cell phone booster for my van. Mm-hmm. And but the distance, the range is very limited.
Right.
To like 3 feet from the antenna inside. But the voice recorders, you asked about what problems we may have had. Sometimes they turn off for no reason when we deploy them. Brian,
that happened at Brown Springs.
Yeah, and it happened up in was it Oregon?
What turned off?
This last summer.
Rich. I forgot about that.
His recorder, Rich. We'll talk.
Yeah, we went to Beachfoot this summer up in Oregon, and we went to this location down by Mount Hood, and I cannot even begin to tell you what happened, but I set an audio recorder outside of camp. I always have an audio recorder about 60, 70 yards outside of camp. And
we use the Tascam DRZ07X model.
LT5 space modulator.
Hey, ours runs on the flux capacitor. So
it does, bro.
But this audio recorder, I come up the next day to go collect it because we was fixing to pack up and bail, and something had been messing with it physically. It was like 5 or 6 feet away from where I left it, and it was actually turned off. Now this is where it gets weird. It was running whenever I left, and whenever I collected it, I thought, oh, the batteries are dead. Okay, cool. I got audio. I get over there, put the micro SD card in. It's blank. It wasn't failed or nothing. It was just blank. It was like nothing had ever recorded on it. And I know for a fact. So that was pretty weird. That was and when we went to Brown Springs, I had a Zoom H1 recorder outside of camp, and I've never had this happen before, but it's got a microphone gain knob on it. It was cranked all the way down, so it wasn't recording anything. It was running, but it was picking up nothing, nil. And we were getting really good vocalizations that night.
Yeah.
And when we deploy these recorders, they have rechargeable like AA batteries in there, and we link it up with these like this is a 7 amp hour battery.
Jeez, dude.
So it'll run a long time.
Yeah.
With it, just with the rechargeable batteries, though, it only lasts a couple hours.
Now
this will go all weekend and then some.
We haven't had the problems in the last couple of years because we've gone overkill on it.
Right.
You know,
right.
Eric was having problems initially with his GoPros, and then he just went ahead and he went all out and powered it up with. So literally, we're running on just about everything. We're running like 3 times, 4 times the battery that we need to operate under normal conditions. That audio, I got that same audio recorder, that Tascam, and I can sit that thing in my office at work and run it for, you know, like, I don't know, 72 hours on a set of batteries. If I take it to the woods to a hot spot, I'm lucky if I get 24 to 48 hours out of it. Yeah. It's like when I take them to the woods and we're in one of our locations, something is draining the batteries at a faster rate. And that's why we've gone to, you know, these extreme measures with over battering everything.
Yeah. So, well, I think that's a form of what I'm saying. It's just that I see it's a visual on my phone, which is easier to attack anyways. The phone is like so much simpler. It doesn't have the technology, even of that. You know, I mean, you think about like even the recorder that he has. You know, that's a whole different setup, right? But we have found, like, I have a junky old paranormal recorder guy. This is what I like. I like the 1 buttons because I do playback and stuff when I did paranormal. So I got used to these, you know. So they're simple. They're real cheap. We take this, we put it on an earth magnet, we magnetize it to the old gifting chair that we found out in the woods, and I have a battery pack that runs down to that, similar to what Eric showed us, and it's buried in the ground, and we try to build up around it and everything, and they find it, and they rip it off and they throw it, and oh yeah, 100%, it's on YouTube Live, check it out. Not them doing it, but us coming back to the gifted chair, going, oh shit, and then when you play it. You hear them ripping it.
Yeah.
They sniff it.
You could lift prints off of that battery.
Well, we could all. We'll talk after the show.
Now, after this gifting chair, how often do you go to it?
Oh, 2-3 times a week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's consistency, right?
Yeah, we have them. We have them narrowed down to almost less than 12 hours that they've been there.
Okay, it's not something like you could go to on the weekend once a month and expect results, right? I mean, what's your feel on that? I don't think it'll happen. You're not going to get results.
Yeah, so
twice a year, or it's got to be a consistency, right?
I have found. All right, so I have found this, and I'll say this, but real quick. So you see this little button right here, and I'm going to touch on that because you just bring up a great point, Eric. This little slide piece right here, you slide up and down, right? And I got these big fat fingers, and it's a pain in the ass. And I had Wojo try it. It's a pain in the ass. So the last investigation, when they found my battery, they threw it down. The last time I recorded, they found the battery in the recorder. They threw it all. They were pissed. I come over, and I had to turn this thing physically back on in order to use it. Like, they figured out how to slide the fucking switch down, bro. They evolve with your research as you evolve with your research. Yeah. Trust me. So consistency, great question, right? Great theory, right? I lived where my first experiences were. I had a game trail that came right to my yard. I had experience after experience after trees getting ripped down, walking through the woods constantly, acorns getting thrown, dotted right between my eyes. I'm like, how the fuck they do that? You know, just chaos, just crazy stuff. It was nuts. I have recordings of them beating on trees. I got to the point where I set up a gifting stump. They would come back, take the cookies, leave me a piece of lichen on my stump. And that next time they left this nut on my stump that wasn't nowhere in my 3 acres. I had no idea where it came from. It actually wasn't in the 94 acres that surrounded my land either. It was beyond that, and it was on the bank of the river that was 1.1 miles away from my house. So I dealt with all these crazy things. I lived there, so I'm staying on point, believe it or not. So that's consistency, because I was always there. They were always there. So I felt like when I walked outside and banged on a tree, I would get a mess. And sure enough, a lot of times, I'd say 8 out of 10 times, I would get one back. So we built this rapport like, I'm out now. You can go do what you want to do. But out of respect, I let you know I was in my yard. So that was consistency. So then there'd be other places that I would go off to with people that I started meeting in the Bigfoot world after I came out of the closet 2 years ago. And after 8 years of doing things on my own. And you would go to these different places. And yeah, there were signs and there was activity I would deem activity. I'm a structure guy, and things like that. So, but nothing like what I was experiencing in my yard. Then Wojo and I get together. We have some experiences in my backyard again. And to the point, once we found like an 18-inch snow print, toes, separation, the whole 9 yards. Right there. I actually sent that picture to my kids, and I said, because they live there still with their mom, my first wife, and I said, hey, this lives out back. You guys have a good day at school. And I just left it like that. It was this huge print. But and then one ran by us. We believe it was one of them, ran by us again at 60 feet after I got the smell and found a print, the whole 9 yards. So these other places weren't like that. So then we started following the activity about 2.5 miles away from my property, but within a 10-mile circle. And we were following the activity. And in between, there wasn't a lot, that we did report a lot, actually. There was some like whistles and, things like that, vocals, little things like little soft knocks and things like that we were catching. But we got to this location and it was kind of hot. So we kept coming back, and then we kept coming back, and then we kept coming back. And every time we're there, Eric, every time, you're going to get scared. You're going to get freaked out. You're going to get some kind. There's a change in the land. We can rule out the magic whirlywinds with these structures because we're there so often. We can tell you whether there was weather or not that came in and took the percentages down. You can't touch us on that. This location is 7 minutes from my house. I have an advantage.
The ecosystem too, Rich.
What's that?
The ecosystem that surrounds that whole area. That's what. It involves everything, like the food and the water. I mean, that's what's there.
Well, that's the other thing is that in this area, there's power lines and there's a major riverway, and all the things you want to talk about as far as deer goes and things like that. But we watched this place evolve before our very eyes. And there's answers that people that go out to places from far away. I think you guys travel a bit, and don't get to be there like we are, because it's not 7 minutes from your home. And we get to have people come back at us, the naysayers, and I go, oh, no, we were just here 2 days ago.
Yep.
Oh, no, we were just here 12 hours ago. We could shut them right down on a lot of that percentage, that the typical bullshit that they want to use to shit on you. We got a shovel for that shit, and we can scoop it and toss it in a bag and see you later. And actually, we found a big, huge pile of shit. It weighed almost 4 pounds.
Yep.
Ever a 4 pound shit in southeastern Mass where we don't even have bears?
So you got 3 acres?
No. I got 3 acres in my backyard. We've moved from that location to this location.
See, something I've always wanted to do. I mean, how far away from the back of your house to the tree line?
Not far. Couple hundred feet.
Here's what I always wanted to do, but you got to have your own property. Is build an attraction, I call it. Let's say a water fountain that comes out, splashes into a trough for maybe 10 minutes, fills up the trough. You got the sound of the water, right? And then it stops. Once it's full, it stops. You got to time it out. You do this. You get it set up so it goes off, fills up the trough once a night, maybe 10 p.m. Okay. But there's a slow drain, a leak in the trough. You don't want stagnant water in there, right? Over time, it would condition the critters, right? Anything to come. They know they got fresh drinking water at 10 p.m. right there, but they got to hurry. It won't last long, right? If you do that, I think over time, see, and then you're not looking over. You got to have a straight line of observation with it, right? You're not going to set up game cameras with infrared light because people say that they're scared of that, or but if you could position it from your house, right, and you could see it from your house, you could sit in your house and just watch on a full moon. You'll see something come up there.
Yeah, that's I mean,
definitely. Anything's possible.
Well, that's like the Wojo saying. Tell me your Wojo saying. What does that create?
What Wojo saying? Well, yeah, it's thinking outside the box. I mean,
no, it's 0.00 or 0.001. Why do I have to coach you into this shit? It's your saying. God help me.
You're gonna let me say it properly instead of just jumping. Jesus.
What is going on here?
Oh my gosh! But don't forget though, Eric.
Bring me the real Wojo. This is an impersonator.
Yeah, but I believe that whatever's out there, okay, if we were on an intelligence scale, it would be like an 11, okay. Then you have the dolphins and the orcas; they'd be like about like a 12, 13 of intelligence. I think what we're dealing with is like in the 20s of intelligence. I mean, anything's possible, but unless if you don't try it, you get 0%. If you do try it, 0.01%.
Another question I have: when you guys do the gifting table or chair, right? You leave jars of peanut butter out.
Yeah.
Get a label maker. I always wanted to get a label maker, and you make a list. In the spirit of science, if found, call you, right, and leave your number there. Yeah, whether they leave it there or not, someday you're never going to see that again, right? It should be taken away. And if someone finds it, the chance of someone finding it, and they say, yeah, I found it here. And you look on the map, and now it's 25 miles away along a riverbed. It might give you a trackway, a route, especially if there's a pattern, if you get more than one call in.
Well, for what we're dealing with at the gifting chair, the probably furthest they probably walked with the peanut butter jar was probably about like 60 feet, 75
so you're
feet.
Finding the empty jars on the property.
Yes.
Okay.
And so what this is, it's not baiting them. It's a form of communication. Okay. And the form of communication is that I have like zingers. Zingers are like Twinkies that are raspberry coated with a vanilla filling.
I'm fat too. I know what you're talking about.
Sasquatch with diabetes.
Hold on. What are you trying to say? No. So we have that. We have the peanut butter. Okay. So I also put like big rocks, big ones and a small one for Junior. We believe there's a juvenile in there. So, but what I decided to do is like have two different colored golf balls, and I got my name and Richie's name. So we decided to hold up our ball. I'm RichiebB. I'm the yellow ball. Put it right down. I'm the orange ball. Put it down. And I'm telling you, ever since we had the golf balls out there, big forms of communication. When we show up to that gifting chair, they are placing the balls at different spots. Okay, I had, sometimes I'll have a letter X for welcome, in front of the chair. They'll point it at different points of that X, and they move the rocks in different areas. They would have the peanut butter cover over here, but the jar is like further down. There's a little creek nearby, or sometimes it's right in the within 10 feet in a radius of 10 feet, 12 feet away. Then you also have the zinger wrappers. Either you find them further down away, again, probably 30 feet away most of the time. But there's also, whenever you have the zingers, is the piece of cardboard. And what they're doing is they'll just scrape the little niblets of the frostings and the coconut and go this. You can see scrape marks.
Yeah.
So what we've been, so now I put out grape jelly, conking grape jelly, okay? Because things have been thrown at us, okay? And it was getting dark out. And I could see like the branches move, and Richie's like, "What the hell?" Like they're constantly throwing stuff at us, right nearby.
I caught one in the air. I caught at the dusk. I caught a little black
Yeah,
and it already had hit a leaf, and I looked up and it hit another leaf right in front of
yeah.
me, and then landed. I heard it land, and I'm like, "Where'd it go?" And go ahead.
So then the next day, because it was dusk, so it was tough to see. Because you go there, you start. Go there the next day. We investigated. Went to the area where they've been landing, and I'm talking about an area of like 20 feet radius. Nothing outside of this area. Okay, where I thought it was blueberries, but then like we had our friend Andy and Richie were like, these look more like grapes. And then we looked at each other like, didn't we see, we did an investigation and we found these so-called grape-looking things. And it was like, we figured it. I go, I know I saw it someplace, and it was right by the creek. So we split up and we investigated, and we did. We found the grapes up in a tree. Okay, so what they're probably doing is they're picking the grapes. You don't see one on the ground anywhere. And they're probably going in a spot where they're hiding right by the river, and they're just tossing them right at us. And I believe where it's landing, because there's an X right there, I think they were gifting us with their grapes. And that's their source of food, And so that's what part of the gifting chair is all about, is just a form of communication. What the hell was that?
I don't know.
Somebody's
right there.
So, yeah. Sounds like someone's like got a bad straw slurping.
Coleman's the one laughing, so I'm pretty sure
Coleman's probably passing gas.
He's the one.
Like,
he's the one,
guys.
He's the one in the class, and he's like, "I swear it's my chair," and then he tries to do it again, and the chair don't make that noise. Talk about that. No, it's the chair. I swear.
So what state are you all in again?
What the hell? Did we lose
Massachusetts, southeastern Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Mass. Okay.
Yep.
So
Bridgewater Triangle.
Just to finish up, so it's not just baiting; it's just researching. It's uncovering the peanut butter jar. Now it's the grape jelly. So I thought we'd give it back to them and give them jars of grape jelly. And you want to talk about? We had one in a plastic bottle in a long neck, dude. Clear as a whistle. It was cleaned out, not a speck in there. On both jars, and the other jar I gave him was glass. So something's uncovering, and just boom, just swooping it right.
Yeah, they're unscrewing them and going after them, and then with our team and the people virtual on the side, we had these feathers there for over a year. They were untouched, and then this jelly thing came along. The top was missing, and suddenly the feathers were all messed up, and we believe they did this.
Yep. Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. The place is nuts.
Yeah.
The place is nuts. Wow. Do you guys find a lot of shattered bones out there with marrow sucked out of it or gone?
Oh, great question.
Yeah. Because we have these here. I like to compare notes. Brian left, though. I don't know where Brian went.
No. I mean, if we do, I guess we just chalk it up to the normal wildlife.
Yeah, but it's hard for me because we don't. Yeah, we don't have a lot of bear around here. If we do it, they make the news and people give them weird names. They track them on Facebook. So it's very rare for us to get bear. And I've been out in these woods for 10 years now, and I've never had any experience with a bear.
We got armadillos, a lot of possums.
Yeah, but see, like with these are shattered and fractured all the way down.
Yeah.
And the bone marrow's gone. And you can see like where the possums take it for the calcium, they scrape it afterwards. But there's not like say a big animal pressed on it and then snapped it with their teeth. There's no like big teeth marks in it. These things are just shattered. They're shattered, dude. And they're empty of their bone marrow. So I think Brian just came back. So yeah, so that's kind of that's our area. Our area is a lot of fun. And Brian said something about coming out one day. I hope he does. And because it would be super awesome. I mean, you guys as well, it would be absolutely epic. You know what I mean?
Massachusetts?
Yeah, Massachusetts. Yeah, no, well, that's the thing. So when I started this and I had my experiences and I kind of came out of the Bigfoot closet, my whole goal was to build a community to research respectfully because people love shitting on each other. And I'm not all about that. I'd rather slap the piss out of you for being a jerk, but I don't want that. This is a peaceful type world that we're in, and these are spiritual creatures any way you slice it. So I wanted to try to change that stigma that if I didn't find it, it's not real. Right there, bro. You know what I mean? I'm all set with that.
Yeah, I grew up in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
And
so
my brother now has a hunting 80 some acres down by the Allegheny, the New York, Pennsylvania border.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Bigfoot's there.
And he's never come out and says, "Oh yeah, they're real and all that." But he knows. Yeah. He knows. Yeah. He's told me one story. He's out hunting one time and a large boulder just started rolling down the hill. Yeah. And he heard
must have been the earthquake he didn't hear.
Yeah. Super quiet. Exactly. He just quietly left.
Yeah.
He went back home.
No, yeah, and that's what you do sometimes, and for a long time when you're alone, that's what I did. I had moments where I knew I was being flanked in my own backyard. I was scared. There was times like I don't know these creatures. Now I kind of feel I know them. I think they know who I am. Clearly they know my smell. And I just talk openly to them. Hey, it's me, Richie B. Like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to pull out a gun and an elephant gun and shoot him and hope it works, and I'm not all about that anyways. I'm about the Jane Goodall theory where we can learn from them in different ways. And the recorder was doing that. The recorder was learning their tendencies and things that they did. And you would hear them open up a zinger and they'd go quiet for an hour, you know what I mean? Or 40 minutes or 20 minutes. And you're like, what the hell? Did he leave? And then all of a sudden he opened
sugar coma.
Yeah, right. But he just keeps going, but he's still there. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so there's us. Anyways, that's us. I want to know more about the film. I want to know more about the documentary. I want to know, who came up with the idea of the documentary. Is that something Brian goes, hey, I got an idea? Like, because Brian does that a lot. I don't know if you guys are aware.
Well, I can tell you what happened.
Yeah.
So before I was doing all the editing and producing. And Coleman, he probably was looking at my work and being like, I can do this a lot better. And because and he's not wrong. He's not wrong. So,
thanks, Ron.
But anyway, he was trying to he was like, man, maybe we should do something a little bit higher quality, and my feelings were hurt at first, but then I was like, oh, wait a minute, he's going to do some editing for me.
Right.
And so I was like all in. So
right. And you should be, right? Because ultimately we're here for the research, right?
Yeah, it is true. So, but yeah, and like I said, I got Ed. Coleman was doing a lot of filming. He was doing all of the editing, and basically Eric and I are just eye candy in this thing. And he's real good at getting the back shots and getting our backside and the light to bounce off of our
the hell
and
what?
so you get the good views and
what?
It's all good.
Hey girl,
we're winning.
Hey,
Brian. Hey, I'm
hey, Dogman. What you doing later, Dogman?
Hey, there we go.
What's going on in Oklahoma, man? What's happening?
I know. Coleman's like, I ran out of ones.
Coleman's like, technical problem. Hey, where'd Coleman
go? Yeah.
He gone.
No, it started out as kind of going to be just like a flesh and blood documentary about us going to the woods and how we do what we do and about all the stuff that's going on in Oklahoma. And then it's like, it just like we derailed and we started running into stuff that just, I wasn't jiving for me. I was kind of uncomfortable with it at first, but at the end of the day, if you're getting this stuff on audio, you're getting it. I mean, it's not, the chain of custody on these audio recorders is, we're not being messed with. This is real.
Yeah.
And if it's real, it needs to be out there. You
know?
Right.
I agree, man. Now, Coleman, we had talked to Eric a little bit about it. We got his background on that. Where do you fit in with the Bigfoot thing? Is it just through technology, or do you fit in through the Bigfoot thing with experience with Bigfoot? Or do you just want to get pictures of people's backsides, you weirdo?
Take it when you can get it.
Eric's cracking open another monster. Oh, here we go.
Eric's snorting that shit by now, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy straw.
Yeah. No, but seriously, like, where do you come into this? That you did you find an entrance through tech, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, is that shit real? Is he talking?
I don't know. I see lips are moving.
Unmute.
He's trying to mute me. You can't mute me.
How about now? How's that?
I thought we didn't hear him farting again. Oh, wait
Taco Tuesday.
Eric.
Yeah, my mic was muted. I got my alibi. I don't know who
And go.
Yeah,
Save yourself.
All right. So, so growing up, me and my buddies were really into filmmaking. And the way I got into this, I mean, growing up, I used to watch like Finding Bigfoot and all that. And I used to think it was really interesting as a kid. And then my buddies, we'd make like short films together back in like middle school and high school for YouTube. And we made a short film about Bigfoot. It was like kind of like a stupid little scary movie type thing. And we joked around that, hey, at some point we should make like a documentary about Bigfoot and like look for the real thing, and we kind of laughed about it and joked about it. And then I joined the military, and I remember being up in Colorado and kind of reconnect with my buddies. And I don't know why. I'm in my early 20s, and I'm just like, what if we went ahead and did that? And so when I got out of the Army back in 2021, we really started filming, and that was my thing. I love filmmaking. I love making documentaries. It's something I'm pretty passionate about. I really enjoy doing, but I know it's very hyper specific, but I love making Bigfoot documentaries. I love cryptid documentaries. I don't, that specific thing. And I think it's just the enjoyment of the filming, obviously, and the editing and doing all that, but also just being out there and doing the field research and capturing everything. And it's not to sound corny, but I mean, it is like an adventure, and so, but that's what I love about it. And so whenever I finished that first documentary I did with my friends, I got so into the research aspect of it and really fell in love with it. I knew I wanted to keep doing it. And so that's how I reached out to Brian. I found Red Dirt Cryptids, and, because I was looking online for research teams in my state near me, and met Brian, and then we went to Hayburn Lake in November of 2022 and found some prints, and I've been hooked ever since. So I love the field research of it. I'm really passionate about that. I love talking eyewitnesses. I love all of that. So, but I love the filming aspect too. So I kind of get to combine everything. So with this documentary, I wanted to do something for the team. I want to do something they'll be proud of.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like, is he chomping on a Go-Gurt?
I eat MREs. This is
I know what it is. I know that's an MRE. All right. So first of all, Coleman, thank you for your service, dude.
Yes.
Badass. I was 11 Bravo, Fort Penn in Georgia.
Oh, cool. I was a 74 Delta.
Nice, man. So, nice. And then I'm sitting down there and I go, is that an MRE? And I had a closer look and show the world what Eric's up to while we discuss, cryptids and all.
It's all I eat. I don't know why.
What?
I love them.
I have an idea. I have an idea why. There's something going on here.
What? I'm like, he's going to town on that bag, man.
Oh man, that was amazing. I'm sorry, that was amazing, dude.
Oh God, that was. I saw what Richie was doing. I'm dying. Brian's going, oh no, that's my team, man.
Kurt yells, "Yep."
I fidget a lot. I'm sorry.
No, dude, Brian.
No, I'm retired Air Force.
Oh, thank you, bro.
If I had known you were in the Army, I would have been talking a lot slower. I apologize.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, you talked. That's why I recorded so I could watch it slowly. I would definitely. All I did was foxholes and shoot. I was a grunt. I wasn't just Army. I was a grunt. I was like, hey, dig a hole. Okay. Hey, shoot down there. Okay. Do you have the pretty light? Do you have the pretty ones that light up? You know what I mean?
Two tours in Iraq doing convoys myself.
Oh, nice, man. Thank you, bro. No, that's a tough ass tour, man. All of it. Thank you all.
That also said, like, your self-awareness that you trained. Your self-awareness, like Richie and his nephews and you guys. I mean, you must, like, again, having that awareness is a plus to be out in the woods and researching.
When we're out filming or out on our explorations there, I like to say also, just keep in mind, what I'm hearing, just so we catch it on film. I hear the birds or it gets quiet. Also, the what's so funny?
Nothing at all, sir.
I don't get it either.
Just being mindful of what's going on. That's all.
No, I agree. No, I was just reading the comment down the bottom there.
Can you read the comment?
I don't have my bifocals.
Oh, Lordy.
Touche. All right.
Thank you for having my back, Sparky.
Oh, that was awesome.
Harsh.
No, I think it's great, man. No, you're right. No, it is harsh, but that's, Brian, you and I are more and more alike. I understand. We've built a community around us that we like and appreciate. You know what I mean? It's important, though. It's very important to have.
It's all about going to the woods with people you can tolerate.
Yeah, it is, right? I mean, but
they're hard to find.
Dude, I'm telling you, when I came out of the Bigfoot closet, like I always say, because I had an 8-year secret. I wasn't telling, and it was probably longer than that. These things were going on. 8 years is when it came to my head what I was hearing out in the woods. The walking around, the bipedal stepping, the crunching, the snapping. I got to learn the snaps on the ground compared to the snaps up high. You know what I mean? Like all those little things you start, like we're talking about that awareness, right? And it is a military police too type training helps, and you'd be like, what the hell's that? Why is that? Wait, now it's up here, and I was trying to figure those things out for years. But anyways, 8 years is what I kind of put it at when I started having these bigger experiences. And they did unfold all the other noises I would hear. I'd be like, oh shit, So, but yeah, you start getting kind of focused. How are you guys, how are you all with structures? Now, we know we talked about the hut, Brian, and Brian thinks tweakers make them in the woods. But wait. One side piece. Brian was on my show a long time ago, well, over a year ago, and I've only been on almost 2 years now. But one of the funniest sentences I've ever heard when I asked him about, what the hell's he doing in this field, right, and how that happened. And he's telling me the story about a local sighting, and he got curious and went into the woods and saw this oddity of a structure, basically, right? And his first thought was, tell everybody your first thought, Brian.
I just thought it was a bunch of tweakers out in the woods.
So then we go on to the next sentence, and then it hits me because I'm Army. I can't think quick. So it hits me, and I go, wait, what did you say? And he goes,
it was a little slow.
Yeah, it was, right? It was like a grenade literally going off. I had to wait for the countdown. And I said, wait, did you say tweakers? And he's like, yeah, tweakers. And I'm thinking, sitting here, I'm new with this podcast shit. This guy's been doing this. He's going to use some big researcher, investigator word on how this might have happened, And he goes, tweaker. And I said, did you say tweaker? It was one of my favorite moments in my podcast. And
yeah.
We really
tell people that.
At first, I thought, man, did they not call them tweakers up there? I mean,
no.
What do they call them up there? These Yankees got a different word for it.
Yeah. You said that to me. You said that to me. What? He was like dead serious. He was like, what? They don't call them tweakers up there? Oh no, we call them tweakers. I just didn't think you would be building a structure in the woods. Tweakers over here.
Yeah.
Richie, we've actually been, ever since then, we've had our eyes peeled for this kind of stuff, and we've been finding stuff. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that we've stumbled on and that we filmed. We found some interesting stuff out at Canton Lake. What was that, about 4 months ago? And we found some other stuff that is not exactly, I don't know what you would call it, not conclusive, but we have found some stuff that we think is in the same ballpark. And we found some other structures, like Eric found a structure out at this one location where we got the whispers from. And as a matter of fact, I think it was that same dang weekend. Well, maybe not the same one.
No, not the same week. You talking about the baby crib? Or the playpen, the small one. See, out here in Oklahoma, though, there are other cryptids allegedly. One being little people, and this was kind of like a little play fort. It was small. If you were I don't know, 3 years old, you crawl in there and you no one would see you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
We find a lot of weird
bunch of
stuff.
sticks. Nothing seemed to be man-made. There was some large logs that I wouldn't be able to pick up and move. To make the supporting beams, but but was it a playpen? Was it Bigfoot related? Was it they put their young in there while they went to fish or hunt or protect their young with from other predators? I don't know. And then there's a lot of vines in Oklahoma. See, I'm from South Dakota. Well, I grew up in Buffalo, New York. So down in South Dakota, there are vines everywhere. The foliage is so thick. And sometimes they grow into like a little igloo thing also. And we have a couple of videos of me crawling in one comfortably.
Right.
And there's twigs and then leaves on top of it and then more twigs and more vines. And it's been sitting there growing, or it was built. Unexplainable.
Yeah, and that's something that, like me and Brian, when we first hooked up with this stuff, was that similar type setup. And up here we have what's called laurels. I don't know if you guys have them. They're kind of a wetland type area, but they grow all kind of bendy and they're really hard, kind of fibered. But what we would notice is that there was always something kind of knocked down on top of these, to where when they tried to grow, they would have to go this way because they couldn't go up because of the weight of the tree or whatever that was on top of them. So we have found a lot of those. So, and I only bring that up to say, hey, keep an eye out for that. If there's that odd pine stick or, whatever you have down there for trees, oaks and all this different trees, they're out of place. You know what I mean? Like we have found them where there's an oak on top, a branch, a long 20-foot branch or something. And you look around and there's no oak trees. They're all pine trees around you. And then you're like, wait, that was brought here to kind of hold those down to help them kind of grow sideways and not up, so they can keep their strike. We actually have an area in our research area, a spot in our research area we call the huts, and there's 4 of them right next to each other, and they all have that type of setup, and that's what they do. And you could tell it's been manipulated to have a home or have a hideout in a spot. We found bones out. Some of these bones were found out right out front of those huts. My Claris compost, we deal with a lot of compost. My Claris compost print was inside one of these. A big old footprint in there. I'd say about 5'10", close to 6 maybe feet tall. There was a laurel branch here, and there was this perfect mushroom taken out of the ground, had a nice big fat cap on it and a stem, and it was hooked on a branch, just laying up there almost 6 feet up in the air on this branch. It was clearly a placement and not something like a squirrel or a bird could do, not without ruining it. You know what I mean? Yeah, so things like that, I think that's very observant that you guys pick up on that. And the huts, like Brian, we compared those huts. We had a meeting, like a restream meeting, and our area is crazy. Like even, Brian has seen it. And you guys should definitely check out some of the lives. Journey of the Gift and Chair is one of the episodes you should look at. And we just did an evidence dump a couple weeks ago. It would help you a lot. You know what I mean? You wonder why Bigfoot has never been caught? I think if you research them a lot, you'll find the reasons and answers to that question. I'm not going to sit here and go through that. I could talk about that all night.
Maybe they're smarter than we are.
Oh, they're way smarter than we are. I believe, like I said, I believe they're primitive humans on a higher frequency. So, and you say maybe that's far fetched, but your psychic medium is on a higher frequency than us, and we're all energy. So. Why not have that be possible? I just say remain open-minded, stay away from being cynical, ask the right questions. You can definitely debate respectfully, but research respectfully, more importantly. Don't be afraid to share your information. Don't be a gatekeeper with your information.
Oh my God, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Don't you know that's the Bigfoot way?
Yeah, not in this house.
No.
We don't do that. You know what I mean? But you look at structures like the one I'm showing right here. Look how high up it is. It doesn't make any sense. Mother Nature didn't lift that shit up off the ground and leave it up there, jammed in between trees to create something. It just didn't happen. Interdimensional, possibly, Douglas. I don't know.
You learn a lot by talking to other investigators as well.
Yeah, 100%.
This last summer, Brian and I met a guy, and he was telling up in Oregon, and he was telling us a tree growing where it grows and it branches off into three like a trident.
Yep.
He said you will always have Bigfoot activity in that area for some reason. He claimed to have seen a few and always had activity there.
Yeah, and who knows? Like we said, we don't know that, but and I'm not a Bigfoot guy, but I tend to know what I'm dealing with in my area, and I can speak for my research area and things like that I have and see and have felt. Feeling is definitely key here. I never seen a Bigfoot making a structure. I never have.
Yeah.
I would never claim that they did. That I did see them doing it. Do I feel that it's a form of communication, clan identification, pointers to tell me where the water is, where the food is? Do I feel that it's a deer trap? So the deers run through there and the whole place is messed up and unorganized and they slow down and get their legs broken and the bone marrow sucked out of their bones? Sure. Why not? That's a theory. That's called a hypothesis. That's an educated guess, folks. It's researching. It's a quest for facts. It's not factual. And I don't claim to be factual. I claim to be a researcher. And that's the difference. But I have all this circumstantial evidence here, and I could get somebody convicted of murder, no problem.
Well, we got obviously it's not.
We got hundreds of pictures.
It's not deer.
It's not cows.
But we have hundreds of pictures, Brian, that I sent a bunch to my friend down in Georgia, and he works for the University of Georgia, working for the forestry department, just to look for invasive bugs and what have you, all down throughout the South. And all these structures that I send him, he's like, man, I don't know what is going on in Massachusetts, but I've never seen anything like that in my life. And he goes, do you guys get like tornadoes in the area, whatever? I go, no, we really don't. And a downburst would splinter everything, everywhere on the ground. It wouldn't be like, just unexplainable stuff. And he's just like, man, all my 25 years, I never seen anything like it.
And that's the other thing. And Ojo brings up a great point that we reach out to other people, like Brian was one of them. So we're not sitting here riding our egos, telling you this is what it is. Yeah, that ain't what we do. We have the Vogels. We wanted a wilderness question. We asked the Vogels. They had a wildlife business for many, many years. And Tim Vogel's a ranger in a 1,300 acre park. You know what I mean? So we go to those people. We have a linguist that we've been talking to that diagnoses our vocals and see if it's actually something physical doing that. We have what you just mentioned, a tree expert to talk about structures, things like that. So, if you have those things at your reach and within your reach, grab them. Don't, there's no need to yell Bigfoot. I think when you do that stuff, it just kind of makes it disingenuous in a sense where you're trying to get to Bigfoot and you're trying to, and then you come on here on a podcast like this dude's just here for clicks and views. You know what I mean? But this is evidence. This is stuff that we have done through our research. We have collected data, all these things. And you want to talk DNA? DNA is a pain in the ass. I have things put away for DNA, but I'm never getting any DNA. It's just not going to happen. It's an absolute pain in the ass. And you're like the 30,000 person in line, and it's $30,000 for eDNA, and it's a pain in the ass. So, we now use it to show for evidence. And as you can see here is that we have mostly turned caps taken off with hands, with a thumb, right down to a very small one. And those things become evidence to what you're trying to get at. You know what I mean? So, and not only that, this area that these things are all touched, there's a recorder there. You can hear the grunts. You know there's something big coming over and open up a zinger with his thumbs. Not only that, you could see on my background that there's thumbprints that we actually got off of one of them. There it is.
The heavy footprints, the walking,
Yeah,
it's all there.
Well, you look at that. You look at those thumbprints, and we had a gentleman from Dark Realm TV. They're all law enforcement, and he actually was in the fingerprint division. And I asked him, what's different about those fingerprints? Does anybody know what's unique about those fingerprints? This is not a test to make you look bad. I'm just asking you a question. Does anybody got a guess on what those fingerprints, why they're different?
I can't see them.
Yeah, I know you. You don't have your bifocals.
I'll go to the bigger picture, Rich, if you can.
Well, I'd have to drop. Oh, I can go here. There it is.
The thermal ridges are going
There's
the other way.
There's the bigger picture. I just kidding. I just kidding.
That's better.
Yeah. What did you say?
It does have dermal ridges.
Oh, there's dermal ridges there. There's 100%.
The prints are going the other way, or what's so different about it?
Well, look at your hands. Look at your fingerprints.
Look at your fingerprints.
Go ahead, look at them. They're swirly.
Ridges.
They're swirly.
Yeah.
They wiggle.
Straight.
Yes, those are straight. Those are straight. Yep. And it made a mistake because this is the white. It is from the ingredients part of it is white, and you can see. And my people have seen this plenty. They're probably sick of me talking about it, but you can see where it's come off of the paint from the ingredient, and it's up in the blue where it does, where they obviously they made a mistake. But this is 100 zingers, and this is one fingerprint. That's pretty damn good odds on their part.
Mm-hmm.
But those are not human prints. So I don't know if there's a kangaroo out there, but you call it what you want, right? Right. So yeah, so that's now I'm sharing that information with you guys, right? Now maybe you run a test and you do something like that and you get fingerprints, and those fingerprints look like these ones. And Brian's gonna go, shit, let's call Rich and compare him to his fingerprints. Because we're not gatekeeping, because we're sharing information. And then we have answers. Now we as people and as researchers have started a data collection, which gets you closer to science. Science isn't all about a body, people. Science is about repetitive motion, resulting in the same ending. People forget that, man, and they want the body. You don't need the body. Jane Goodall didn't go up to the mountain and shoot a gorilla and walk down the mountain with a gorilla and say, "Here it is." Nope, she lived with them. Do I think we're gonna be able to live with these guys? Probably not. We pretty much pissed them off. You know what I mean? Historically, I mean, I'm friends with mine, but you guys are screwed. Everybody else that's out there, But no, I think it's amazing in that sense that we get to sit here and share that and have that conversation with you guys and compare notes. Right now, structures is something like you're saying. You're finding these odd things. You're out there and you get a recording of walking or grunting or something, and there's a structure in the local in the area. To me, that's two pieces of evidence. Right. You collect them together. So it's like the thermal that we got. We heard walking. We aimed the thermal at it. There's a figure standing right there. We have the thermal of it. Everybody saw it live on YouTube, and I have it as evidence as well. So not only do I have YouTube live and all the people watching me, and I think one time it was like 13,000 were watching, but and you can see it. You can see it. We heard it. We aimed it. We got it. Those are all pieces of evidence coming together.
And from that direction, actually, the direction that we got the image, it was throwing something at us. So I happen to turn and look, and I see the figure.
Oh, we got all
and I just, my target is like a green target, just kept going to the same spot. I'm like, what is that?
Yep.
And it was big, and that's when something was being thrown behind us. I turn around, and there was like two of these strange figures in the back that we just can't explain. I mean, it's tough on the thermal.
Yeah, I don't know how that thing. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
it was wild. One looks big and blocky in one version, and the other one it looks like Christmas lights, basically in the shape of an alien. It's pretty freaking nuts, dude. It's something to behold. I'll tell you that. I don't know if I have one here. I don't know what this guy is. Let me see. And then we'll there we go. Oh, well, it was there. Now it's loading.
I saw your video the other night. Whenever you was live, you had that eye shine. That looked good.
Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you guys about eye shine. And you guys ever have that horrible smell out in the woods? Any eye shine or the horrible smell that they?
I've never encountered the smell. Now I have encountered down at Hanabi. I've encountered some eye shine, but it was kind of a white color. So
yeah, we get that too.
Yeah, Yeah, that's something that became over time. That wasn't something that ever happened to me in my yard and stuff. And it just seems that repetitive motion, like Eric was bringing up, that we get more of a trust. You know what I mean? So it was pretty wild. You know what I mean? What do Gruesome has? And I'm going to do one more thing, and then we're going to wrap up because I want to talk to you for a few minutes backstage real quick. What do the gentlemen from Oklahoma think about the recent video of the 2 Bigfoots in Chitchat National Forest? How you feel about that? Anyways, that's our figure right there that we got in the woods.
Well, that's an impressive video. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Oh, okay.
It does look very interesting. It's very compelling. When I found out that the couple that caught that were the ones that did this, I don't know, like 4 years ago or something, they did like a video where they found a dead Bigfoot skeleton in the woods, and I'm sorry, but it looked very fake, and I was not impressed at all. And and so, you know, apparently it was the same people that were doing it, so now I'm suspicious. But I will say this, though, it was very compelling. I actually slowed it down. I looked at it. I have no idea how you could fake eye shine like that. If somebody knows how to fake eye shine, let me know. I mean, I'm curious now, but might be legit. I know roughly the area where that happened at was down by Tallahena, and that whole area down there is hot. So definitely could be legitimate, but you know, I don't know. I have trust issues, I guess you could say.
How far is that from you? Well, from where you guys are?
5 hours.
5 hours, yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry if I delayed in the answering of that question, but thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Elder, I'm here just listening.
Thank you, Elder.
And I cannot find any evidence that video with the eye shine is fake.
Right. Now, could you pass something like that along to Coleman? Could Coleman, and will you be able to look at that technology wise, and see if it was manipulated at all or something like that? Are you in that area of that technology?
Oh, I'm not. I wish I was that savvy when it comes to doing all that. I know how to use Adobe Premiere and put together some videos, man. That's about it. But I mean, I know what video he's talking about. I've also watched it. I mean, it is a very interesting video. Like Brian was saying, the eye shine to me is the most interesting thing. I would like to see someone who maybe is more savvy on that end of things maybe do a breakdown of that video, because it is very compelling, very interesting.
Yeah, and we have to watch out now with what we do because of AI and all this other technology shit that's out there. And that's, before, I mean, I've been doing this a little while. AI wasn't as big as it is now, but I went on YouTube Live specifically to knock all that down. And, sometimes I have grainy, shitty footage, and it's a pain in the ass, but I'd rather that than someone accusing me of having an edit room in the back. You know what I mean? So
actually a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't want it. I don't want that questions. And I wanted to build a community. So the two things are happening, and I'm very blessed. And I'm blessed to have a guy like Brian Terrell, man, in our corner, man. He's a good dude. He's a knowledgeable dude, man.
Very.
Yeah, he's awesome like that. I'm looking on your YouTube. I don't see anything for this. I want to see this. You said it was up on the YouTube, right? The Whispers.
It is, but it's unlisted until next Friday.
Gotcha.
I mean, I can send you the link.
Yeah, no, we have we put up the link already in the studio, so I just didn't know if there was a cover or something I could show so people could look.
There is a trailer. There's a trailer you can click on.
Oh, is it? That's what I'm looking for. Where's that?
It should be Whispers from the Woods, 2025 documentary trailer, something like that. It should have on the thumbnail September 26th.
Right, let me see. Let me go to videos.
Yeah, it's in a video. It's not a...
Something big is coming?
No.
No, that's not it. Examination, no. Chris Ramsey. Oh, wait. Stop. Freeze. Okay. Yep, hang on. Pause that. I'm going to do this, and then we're going to exit out. So you guys.
Quick thing for you, Coleman.
Hang on, buddy.
Our friend, the Vogel brothers, okay, you got it. All right. I'll wait.
Yes. Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
All right, everybody, check it out. This is what you got coming. I want everybody to spread the word. Do your thing, family. You guys kick ass. I know you can help get the word out and make this a big event. So let's help them keep climbing, man. And you know what? This is real, dude. This is real. This is dudes in the woods, boots on the ground, BOTG, baby.
When people see things that are not supposed to exist, there's a shock factor.
There all the time. It's paranormal. And brother, that place is paranormal as all get out.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, I couldn't hear any volume, but everybody else could. They said, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the only one. I got screwed. My damn show. No, I think that's from what I saw, anyways. That's a sick trailer, man. Everybody interested in that? I hope. So listen, make sure you get over to Red Dirt Cryptid Investigations, my friends, and again, do your thing that you do. Go check it out. Spread the word. Share that link. Let's help these guys, man. They got the boots on. You got to respect that, right? You got to respect that.
We appreciate the love, man.
Yeah, well, we always got you, Brian. You know that. And Coleman, is really good to meet you. And Eric, pleasure to meet you, dude.
Thank you, guys.
You guys make a good squad. You got everything in here. You got technology. You got the brains over here, Mr. Brian Terrell. You got the ADD with Eric. I mean, everything is linking up perfectly. I'm the ADD guy in my crew. I can talk about it freely. Trust me.
It's a superpower.
I took 60 milligrams this morning, buddy. I know what's going on here. I have to do it every day. I'm nuts. And I got 7 kids, 5 boys, and they pew, pew, pew. I'm like, oh, he's got it. I don't even need a doctor anymore. I just point. You know what I mean? So I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you got a few minutes, hang with me backstage. I won't be too long because I got a date with Fortnite. I usually do every night. I'd give you my handle live on the air, but that would probably get me banned. I want to thank everybody on the side, man. All the peoples, the D-Hoots, the Kurtz, the Sparky. Sparky, great job as usual. Thank you for sharing the links. I appreciate you guys. Tyler, 420, go smoke a fatty, kid. We got Sam, our amazing producer. Bobby Lee, our executive producer. Let's see. Hey, Gruesome, man, thank you for chiming in. I'm sorry if questions were delayed. Ghost Girl, Mary. Let's see. Elder was here, right? Ron was here. Ron was here. Benno. Ron was here. Holy shit. Did I just say that out loud?
Joe Fox, Kenneth Wilkinson.
Yeah,
you guys are awesome.
Ohio.
Country, yes.
Oh my God, man. Great stuff. And even that mean guy, Douglas, chimed in with some ignorance. That was nice. Did we throw him out, by the way? I don't think I've ever had anybody really thrown out on the podcast. Maybe 2 or 3. You know, Scott M., thank you for your questions. Everybody, thank you for participating. I greatly appreciate it. This has been a kick-ass episode, and I told you it would be. because Brian always kind of brings it as he leans back at his antique shop and chills without his bifocals, right? So, no, it's been a great show. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and, of course, YouTube. Hit the notify button because we're on a Friday streak, in case you guys didn't know. Friday's absolutely always happening, and then we could throw in another day, either Saturday or Sunday in there. So we're in there a solid average of 2 days a week. So you don't want to miss out on that, okay? So make sure you get over and check that out. Also, don't forget about Ella's Army, folks. September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, so we're just trying to make everybody aware, get the word out. You know, don't be afraid to get the blood work if there's some kind of questions you're having. God bless you and prayers to you. Denny and his family are remarkable human beings, and they've turned that into giving back. So, and it's coming quite handy, unfortunately, close to home. So I want to thank Denny for coming on. He'll be back next week to explain everything to you guys again. So Ella's Army, check it out. Prayers for Ella's Facebook page. Ella's Army at gmail.com. If you have something, you want to remain anonymous and you just want to tell them where you're at and what's going on, they'll cut you a check and relieve some pressure. So that's very, very huge. And God bless all you guys. Ella, thank you so much, you smart little girl. Thank you. I want to say I love you to my son, baby Jack. I want to say I love you, mama. And I want everybody out there to keep climbing. And Mojo, get us the hell out of here because that's what you do.
Hey, thank you all for being on here. And remember, we are home of the boom. See you next time. Let's